So, we were talking earlier about employee engagement and what companies really need to focus on in order to help employees be more autonomous in the workplace and encourage attendance in general. So, I wanted to talk to you today about a feature that is launching on May 15th, and that is workplace announcements. Tell me how that fits into the grander scheme of things when it comes to engagement in the workplace.
Yeah, let's dive in. I think a great place to start is with something that we believe here at Office Space. An informed workplace is an effective workplace, right? I've heard so many examples from workplace leaders across our customer base saying, I send out an announcement about the Wi Fi being down, and then someone comes in and they complain to me saying, no one told me. I had back to back calls. Wasted a commute today. Or on the flip side, they have this workplace event that they're trying to leverage to build a stronger in office culture, or maybe even drive people back into the office and really pull them in with something that's exciting. But you need to get the word out for that to happen. People need to know that it's happening. And so I've heard countless times things like, oh, I didn't realize happy hour is happening today. Probably wouldn't have left so early. There are all these missed opportunities and really important moments that happen within the office. And even though you have Slack, Teams, email, and so many different other ways to communicate with your employees, there seems to be a disconnect. And so that's the problem that we set out to solve with workplace announcements is we want to fix that disconnect.
And where do you think those communication channels that you just mentioned, like Teams, like Slack, where are those kind of falling short for people? Why is that not working to get the right message to people?
Yeah, there are a couple reasons there. I think the biggest one is that oftentimes we see workplace leaders relying on an email distribution list, perhaps an office Slack or Teams channel that's pretty local. And there are a couple issues with that. The first issue is that oftentimes people visiting from other offices or external visitors that aren't a part of your employee base, they're not in those local Slack channels. No one's going to go out of their way to invite that person just because they're in the office for one day. And so a lot of critical workplace announcements and information gets distributed in ways that is missing some really important people, right? And
Yeah.
so that's the first way that we feel workplace announcements will really make an impact by using real time data from Office Space to target your communications to just the people that need to hear them. That's the first way that we feel workplace announcements is really differentiated because we're able to pull in things like who's booked a desk today? Has this person logged into the Wi Fi or scanned their access badge? And so much other information, maybe even just around this specific neighborhood on this floor, who's seated there. And I just want to communicate with those people. That does two things. It makes sure everyone that needs to hear that does, but it also makes sure that you're not over reliant on mass communication and clogging up everyone else's inboxes, which is ultimately a driver of people ignoring a lot of these really important announcements because they're used to seeing things that are relevant to them in the first
Right.
place. That's a frustrating moment for everyone. And that's what we're trying to avoid by giving facility managers a really effective tool to be able to target those messages so that they know when I receive this message, whether it's on the employee homepage, through a mobile app push notification, or through an email, it's something that I immediately understand to be important. And we've included functionality like customized branding for emails and including images at the top so they can immediately engage with and as a result remember and actually be informed instead of wasting that commute. And of course, putting a workplace announcement up on the employee homepage is valuable because in a lot of ways that's where your employees go to plan their week, especially if you're using hoteling in your hybrid policy. I'd love to walk through a couple examples in real time. So this is workplace announcements. It's super easy to access from anywhere in Office Space with this new option within our navigational menu. And ultimately, it's as simple as figuring out what you want to say, who you want to receive the message, and finally, how you want to send it out. In this particular example, I'm writing about an upcoming lighting installation happening on the sixth floor that'll impact a very specific neighborhood. Typically, in situations like this, we've seen our customers rely on mass communication or potentially a email distribution list that is often out of date and difficult to maintain. However, by using workplace announcements, I'm able to filter based off of information that is in office space and up to date so I can ensure that I'm only communicating with the 13 people who are going to be impacted here. The way that I'm able to do this is by using recipient filters. I can select the specific site that I want to target. And if I expand this menu right here, I can also select things like the specific floors, neighborhoods, or even departments that I want to target. In the future, we'll also be including some more targeting options around, for example, if the seating type is a desk booking or if these individuals have an assigned seat, as well as incorporating presence data. But even now, I can use the send to input here, and that allows me to target people who will only be in the office on that particular day. And as you can see in this particular instance, that's only 13 people. Again, thinking about how common it is to rely on mass communication, if I have 250 people in this office, that's a lot of extra people that might get a completely irrelevant message. Finally, when it comes to the channels that I can send this out, I can choose email, mobile push notification, or even the employee homepage. I can also select all of them if I want to. But when it comes to the employee homepage, I can set an expiration date for this to disappear after this happens tomorrow, for example, or I can pin this message, allowing it to stay up on top of the announcements bar within the employee homepage, allowing me to make sure that people who log into Office Space see it. Finally, before I send out this announcement, I want to make sure that it looks good. I'm able to send out a test announcement to myself or 5 other people via email or mobile push notification if I'd like to make sure that this looks the way I want it to. A couple other call outs here is that in the future, we'll be adding some email customization options as well as the ability to include images within your announcements. And so we're really excited about that on the horizon. That is workplace announcements.
Thank you so much, Beckett. It's been really cool to see what your team is working on.
I appreciate you taking the time, Rachel. This is awesome.